your family kind of overcome the different challenges presented by the act?
Well, what you do is you work hard, you become members of the community, but and we would have family gatherings all the time, right? We would always have family dinners, right? You'd extend that we'd all come together, and our activities, our holidays would be spent together. The businesses, for example, the Lee Duck Cleaners, my grandfather set it up so the three brothers were partners in the business, and then and we all worked at the business, and so you all share in the business, and you all share in the wealth, and you have to put your ego aside, whereas in the Western civilization, it's all individual and obtaining of material wealth at whatever expense, right? Yeah. Okay, and you have to remember, prior to the Exclusion Act, the Chinese, there was legislation that would not allow Chinese people to become professionals. They could not become doctors, lawyers, dentists. So the only jobs open to them were the service industry, and so that's where they were able to open up shops and maybe do farm work, but then they built them into businesses and became successful. And later, when the Chinese were allowed to become citizens, right? And it wasn't. I have my grandfather and grandmother that came here, right, in 1905, 1908. They were allowed to become citizens in about after it was abolished in 1945, the exclusion. It was John Diefenbaker that allowed the Chinese to become citizens. And I have some onion skin paper, and where it's either my grandmother or grandfather are practicing their citizenship oath to the government, and I actually have they had to apply for citizenship. I have the registration letter where they're applying, and they've got it approved. You can appear at this court date to apply to be a citizen. You can imagine, right? You come here in 1908 or 1905, and then you're allowed to become a citizen in 1950. And you have to remember, you're paying taxes all this time too.
40 years later.
But with no rights. If we, as a Chinese community, don't speak up and speak up about the history of what has happened, it will reoccur again and again. And it's through, like I said, greed, anger, and ignorance.